Hello, shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Now, after simulated annealing, there is another randomized technique which is used for solving optimization problems, that is called as genetic algorithms. So, this is also a randomized search algorithm. It's a meta-heuristic search algorithm, or meta-heuristic, it comes under meta-heuristic category. It's a meta-heuristic technique. Meta-heuristic means it uses a heuristic of heuristic. That we can also say that it is a population based method, uh, that it uses a concept of population, initial population or new population. We will see what is that. Okay. Now basically these genetic algorithms, they are based on the natural evolution, that is genetics in biology. Okay, and similar type of concepts from nature, they have been used in algorithms which are successfully used for solving optimization type of problems. Okay. uh, Before going into the genetic algorithms, let us go into the biological evolution concept of evolution, which has been used out here in genetic algorithms. We will quickly go into the genetic evolution, and then we will see how we are going to connect that with concepts in genetic algorithm. In 1970, John Holland, he proposed genetic algorithm. He is the father of genetic algorithms. We know that in humans, sperm from father and the egg from mother, they supply chromosomes and that make up a child. Both the sperm and the egg contains 23 chromosomes labeled 1 to 23, and chromosome from the sperm and identically numbered 1 from the egg, that make up homologous chromosome pair in the child. Every chromosome is built up of several million genes. Every gene contributes to phenotype, a specific feature or characteristic of the offspring, such as color of eye, blood group, height, okay, behavior, so many things. Such a characteristics are inherited from the parents or ancestors. Some of the features of our mother and father or our ancestors, they are inherited in us. All of us knew all this. The blood group of a child could take one of the four possible phenotypes: O, A, B and AB. We also know this. Uh, Let me put it: O, A, B and AB blood groups. Further, each gene for the blood type can have values 0, 1 or 2. These are called alleles. A set of these form a gene pair called as genotypes. Don't worry about this, just to give an idea, we need to know this. Some of you might be knowing this, which determines the blood group. So genotypes, we know that determines the blood group, that is phenotype. We know that now many of you, those who have studied biology, they might be knowing that this blood group O that corresponds to genotype 00. Blood group A belongs to genotype 01 or 11. 01 or 11. Sorry, 11. Then blood group B belongs to 20 or anybody 22, and blood group AB belongs to genotype 21. Okay, so blood, we say that it's a phenotype blood group, that means O, A, B and AB, and they corresponds to group genotype, that is O blood group belongs to genotype 00, A belongs to 01 or 11, B belongs to 20 or 22, and AB belongs to 21. Okay, already we knew this. Now why this is important? If the gene value from the male is 0 and that from the female is 1, then the offspring genotype is 01. This confers the offspring a phenotype of A blood group, right? And alleles differ from different kinds of genes, and in biological world their order 01 or 10 may not play the important role. So order is not important. Now as a child we call that as offsprings, matures to an adult. It becomes capable of producing gametes, sperms in case of male and eggs in case of female. There are times when some of the genes tends to mutate. What is this mutation? We will see that afterwards in detail. But in biology means change their values from one to another randomly. That means there are certain things you will find out which are very different from our parents or ancestors. Okay, such a mutation is attributed to unusual physical phenomena like exposure to the chemicals, cosmetic radiations and some biological effects. There are certain reasons which accounts to this mutation. For example, nuclear reactions that has also an effect on, that means radiations effect on this uh, mutations. Individuals that adapt better to give in a environment or the environment in which they live, you have higher chances of survival. So adoption is important, we know, and others they die over a period of time. We know the term that survival of fittest. If you are fit, then you are going to survive. Otherwise, you will not survive in this world. Naturally, the surviving ones are those that give rise to next generation of offsprings. Then they in turn inherits the qualities of their parents. So this continues. Okay, so that generates a newer population. Over a number of generations, those individuals that inherit traits that aid in survival and reproduction become more predominant in the population, while others, the process is undesirable and harmful traits are forced to recede into oblivion. The surviving ones thus exhibit characteristics, we know that are no more adapted to their environment. And we know that this theory is called as natural screening process or Darwin's evolution. Many of you might be knowing Darwin's theory of evolution. So that theory, from that theory, whatever just now we have discussed, this has been, and that has been proved also. Okay. In short, what is meaning of this? That in nature, the newer generation that inherits the features of the older generation. Uh, they exhibit the concept of survival of fittest. Newer generation, therefore, you will find out uh, that is better in terms of the several parameters as compared to the older generation. Therefore, we say that newer generation is smarter than the old generation. Okay, children are smarter. So this theory holds, you will find out, and this theory that has been used for developing genetic algorithms for solving uh, optimization type of problems. Okay. So therefore, now we are saying out here. So before that, what are the things that uh, we have understood from this theory of evolution? If we summarize, chromosomes are there, right? Then genes are there, millions of genes. They contribute to several features of the offspring. Okay. Then another concept is there. That concept is mutation. Now the chromosomes, they inherit attributes of father as well as mother. In some way, we are going to call that as crossover. Not all features of father, all features of mother, they are inherited as it is. Some of the features of father, some of the features of mother, they are inherited. Okay. They call it crossover. So this is important. So first thing that we saw, what is important out here, population. What is population? Chromosomes. Population means chromosomes. Then we saw crossover. This because of this crossover, now new offspring is generated with the uh, inheriting the attributes of father and mother. Then along with this mutation of also takes place during this process. That means you will find out some of the genes, they are completely changed if you compare that with ancestors or mother or father. Okay, so all this is responsible for generating a new uh, offspring. Okay, offspring, and set of this offspring, all these offsprings, they form a population. So this process continues. Okay, so this is the basic idea. So genetic algorithm, they use power of evolution. And what is this? That we are evolved over a period of time. If you compare human beings right now as compared to thousands years back, then you will find out lot of modifications have been taken place. We call that as evolution. Okay, so that has been used to solve now optimization problem. Let us move further. This genetic algorithms, they are better than conventional AI techniques. In a sense, they are more robust in solving certain type of problems. Not always. Unlike for some set of problems, you will find out if you use your usual AI technique, uh, they do not break easily even if inputs are changed slightly in presence of reasonable noise. So to make it robust, although if there is a noise, if your inputs are slightly noisy, this genetic algorithm method technique that is able to give you the desired optimized solutions. Now come to the searching. In searching a large state space, this is important, multimodal state space or n-dimensional surface, genetic algorithm is a better candidate as compared to other optimization techniques like linear programming technique, heuristic algorithms or your blind search algorithms. So just now I told you that it simulates the survival of fittest among the individuals over consecutive generations for solving the problem. So meaning of this is that if you are fit, then you are going to survive. So you should be fit for that purpose. Fit that is related with uh, better solution. Okay, better solution that refers to better attributes in genetic algorithm. Each generation is what? That means population at that time. Each generation consists of population of character strings that are analogous to chromosomes. Now we will for analogy we will have analogy of genetic algorithms and genetic evolution. In genetic evolution we have population out there. In genetic algorithm we have chromosome. Now this chromosome is what? Chromosome is a character string because computer understands only zeros and ones. Or at the little bit higher level you can have uh, some number system consisting of alphabets also. Symbol, basically these are the symbols. So we have symbols. So set of these symbols we are going to call that as a chromosome. In genetic algorithm we call that as a population. Okay. Each individual represents a point in a search space and a possible solution. So in genetic algorithm we have offsprings. So we are going to compare those offsprings. In genetic algorithm we are going to call them that chromosomes as solutions. Okay, in the search space. So specifically a possible solution. So that's how now we are going to perform analogy between natural evolution and genetic algorithms. So in evolution we have population, out here we have solution, uh, out there we have chromosomes, here we have solution set which is a set of characteristics, right? Then in natural evolution uh, inheritance that is analogous to out here uh, different crossover techniques in genetic algorithms. In natural evolution we have mutation, that means certain features are there which are totally different, random change is there in the offspring, that is similar to changing the bits or characters in the chromosome which is representing a solution in genetic algorithm. ठीक है? Any question up to this? No, sir. Maske, Gopal, Sushma Bole.
Yes, sir.
Any question in basic concept of genetics, natural evolution and connection of that with genetic algorithm?
No, sir.
Okay. So we'll move further. Now let us find out what is the basic structure of genetic algorithm. The individuals in the population, they go through the process of evolution. And genetic algorithms, they are based on analogy with genetic structure and behavior of chromosomes. Okay. Uh, these are the important aspects of that analogy. Individuals in the population compete for resources and they mate. Those individuals which are most successful in each competition, they will produce more offspring than those individuals that perform poorly. So there is a competition. So therefore survival of fittest. You should be fit to win that competition. Genes from a good individuals, they propagate through the population so that two good parents will sometimes produce offspring that is better than either of the parent, right? Because of inheritance. Thus, each successive generation will become more suited to their environment. So adoption takes place. And because of that, we survive in this world. Now, state space in genetic algorithm. Okay, we are going to now put it in our search format. The population of individuals is maintained within the search space, each representing a possible solution to a given problem. We are going to call them chromosomes or genes. But in genetic algorithm, they are solution, possible solution. Therefore, the chromosome is composed of several genes. In algorithm, you are going to call them variables. Genetic algorithm maintains a population of n chromosomes with associated fitness values. This is the newer term. So what is a population in genetic algorithm? Set of chromosomes. That means set of solutions. And they will be associated with fitness values. Now what is a fitness value? Now every solution you can find out how good that solution is. And you can put that in the form of a number. And that will be a fitness value. For example, now come to the traveling salesman problem, TSP problem. There is a trip made by a salesman, something like this: A, D, F, K, G and A. What are these characters? These are cities. A, D, F, K, G are cities. So salesman has made a round trip, visited from A to D, D to F, F to K, K to G and then again A. Round trip has been made. Now how much distance this salesman has to travel to make this round trip? Suppose we have calculated that value and that value comes out to suppose 63 kilometers. So I can say that this 63 is a fitness value associated with this solution. What is this? This is a solution. One of the solution, not final solution. One of the possible solution. One of the trip that salesman can make. How many cities are there? Okay, let us answer this question first. How many cities are there in this problem?
Six, five,
5 cities, right? A, D, F, K and G. So there are 5 cities. Okay, so to make a round trip, one of the trip made by the salesman that has covered 63 kilometers of distance. So this is one of the possible solution. So I can say that this is a fitness value. This is a fitness value. How to calculate this value? Anybody? How I have calculated this value 63? Uh, 63 is the total distance traveled by the salesman. Okay, we have given distances between the cities, that is given to you. So we know that what is the distance between A to D, what is distance between D to F, F to K, K to G, and again from G to A. All these distances are given. If you add all this, that will give you 63 value. Okay, so you can define a function which will return this value. So that can be the fitness function. So this 63 is a fitness value. Now what this 63 tells us in this, how good this trip is. So this value should, what should be this value, high or low? In TSP, this fitness value should be high or low?
Low.
Low.
Low, right. Why? Because we have to make a round trip in such a way that it will take less time, or distance travel should be lesser. Okay. Therefore, correct. It should be less. So, suppose there is another trip. That trip is like A, K, G, here F, D, and A. To make this trip, suppose total distance travel is 73. So which trip is better?
First one.
Right. This first trip is better because value is better. Why better? Because it is lesser. Distance travel should be less. So therefore this is a better trip. So fitness value will help us to find out which trip is better. So fitness is important. So more fitness in traveling salesman problem means less value. Okay. So which solution is good now? First one is good. That is a better solution. So fitness function which will calculate fitness value, that will help us to find out the better chromosomes or better solutions. What we do then, parents are selected to mate on the basis of their fitness. Okay. Producing offspring via reproductive plan. So two fit parents are selected. Better parents, they are selected for generating a new offspring. That's what generally happens in natural evolution. Consequently, higher fit solutions are given more opportunities to produce because the uh, parents selected to mate, they are selected based on their fitness. Therefore, since parents are fit, therefore their offspring will be fitter, so that the offspring inherit the characteristics from each of the parents. Okay. Individuals in the population, they die and are replaced by the newer solutions. Over a period of time, individuals, they die because of aging, or another reason is they are not fit and they are replaced by the newer population or newer solutions. Each successive generation will contain more good partial solutions than the previous generation. That's why I said that newer generation is better than older generation. Okay, because if there is something wrong with the individual or solution, then it's not going to survive. It will die over a period of time. So this is the general idea of state space in genetic algorithm. Any question up to this? If there is no question, then we will go to the three important operators that we are going to use in implementation of genetic algorithm, and then we will stop here. Now to implement this in the form of algorithm, we will have some initial population which we are going to generate randomly. Okay, so that means initial character strings will be generated. Out here in genetic algorithm, character string is a chromosome, or that is a solution, and then algorithm evolves through the three parameters or operators which are important in implementation of genetic algorithm. First is selection, second one is crossover, and third one is mutation. This selection uh, is similar to selecting better parents, which equates to survival of the fittest. We know this, survival of the fittest. So always you should select the good parents. That means good solutions. So selection, how you are going to select that? Based on fitness function. Okay. So this will be the one of the step in genetic algorithm. Next step will be crossover, which will represent mating between the individuals in natural evolution. So in natural evolution, mating takes place. In genetic algorithm, you are going to perform crossover operations. Then mutation. Mutation refers to changes in the genes in natural evolution. In genetic algorithm, mutation will be, we are going to perform mutation with the help of modifications in the characteristics, and we will, what we will do for that purpose, we will introduce random modifications in the solutions. Now this is very important. In genetic algorithm, because of this mutation as well as in natural evolution, you will find out we could maintain the diversity, and diversity is required. Okay. If there is no diversity, if there is no mutation, what would have happened in natural evolution? Anybody? Again, I am repeating the question. Mutation is desirable because it incorporates, maintains the diversity in the population, and that is desired, I am saying. And in natural evolution also, uh, because of this, diversity is maintained. Had it been not there, what would have happened in the world, in human population? Or limit that to the human beings. If there is no mutation, no diversity. Puja, Purohit, anybody else? Mayuri, Sumit?
Population increase.
No. Diversity we are talking about. If there is no diversity, that means no mutation, no change,
Sir, we cannot
Duplicates are
identify person
right?
duplicates are
or people.
Correct. Uh, Most of the human beings, they will be same, they would be same as that of their previous generations if there is no change. If suppose all the attributes of your parents, they are inherited as it is, after some time what will happen? You will find out individual, they are very similar to their parents only. Okay, there is no change. no evolution also. Okay, so another extreme that you can think of, that everybody would have been same in that case, in terms of appearance as well as in terms of behavior, right? Everything. And you will find out if everything is same, there would not have been any interest, and things would not have been evolved. Whatever development that has taken place in terms of health, all aspects, that would not have taken place because there is no diversity. Okay, so right, one of the answer is that you will not be able to identify the persons because same persons, right? That is what mutation. So remember that mutation is desirable, although sometimes it is uh, not desirable in natural evolution, like because of the radiations, mutation takes place in the genes, and uh, that had bad effect on health of generations over the generations. So that is wrong, or undesirable mutation, but otherwise some kind of mutation is desirable. So three important operators we are going to use in implementation of genetic algorithm: selection, crossover, and mutation. Okay, so we are going to stop out here. We will continue further in the next class. And uh, before that, if you have any difficulties uh, regarding your first test syllabus, unit 1, 2 and 3, before starting our next lecture we can discuss that part, and then we will start our next lecture tomorrow. Uh, Start preparing for your first internal test. By the end of September, all your first internal test will be over. Okay, so start studying for all the courses, all the subjects. If you have any difficulties in 3 units that we have discussed so far, which is the syllabus for first internal test, we can discuss that tomorrow morning. And books from which you can study if you want extra reading, that also we will discuss tomorrow. Okay, so we are running out of time. I will stop here. Join for the next lecture. Thank you. Good day.